Wednesday, August 10th, 2016. Monaco 64 here, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. Just a follow-up video to the video I did earlier today about gold and how, the difference between physical gold and paper gold. And there's different kinds of paper gold, like futures, forwards, unallocated LBMA gold, GLD, ETFs. And the reason I'm doing this follow-up is that there's a story came out late yesterday in bullionstar.com, and it's by a person called Ronan Manly. And the article is entitled, "The Charade Continues. London Gold and Silver Market Set for Even More Paper Trading." So he's talking about how the London Metal Exchange, which in the past is only been an exchange for base metals, really, not precious metals. The exchange for precious metals in the UK is usually the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, but it looks like now the LME, or the London Metals Exchange, is getting involved in the precious metals market, and they've announced jointly with the World Gold Council that they are going to have a new precious metals contract called LME Precious, and it will launch in the first half of 2017. And the thing is, they say it's physical gold, but it isn't, because it's unallocated, which basically means paper trading, and they're going to use the LBMA unallocated system, and basically it's going to be more paper trading, and it looks like the LME banks are going to be involved, people like Goldman Sachs. So it's more, of the same nefarious activity in London. The reason why, you don't have a huge physical market like the LBMA in New York is because you can't hypothecate it. You have to do it in London. So all the big American banks, all the central banks, they're in London. And who allows that to happen? Well, in my view, it's the bank that's in charge of London. And what bank is that? It's the Bank of England. So when the, human feces hits the fan in London in the gold market, I'm sure there's a lot of people going to be blamed, but the Bank of England is going to say, "Oh, we didn't know about this. We'll need to, do an inquiry," and they'll do an inquiry, and nothing will come out of it. All this shows is that the West, i.e., London, New York, they're desperate to keep control of the price, the paper price of gold, seeing that you have a new Shanghai contract based on physical in Chinese currency that just started out this April. They have a fix there as well for that price. London is desperately trying to, control the paper price. And the reason they can do that here is that you can lend as much as you want. It's fraudulent, basically. This new LME contract, basically, let's say they have 1,000 ounces in the exchange, held by the members, and they will allow people to trade hundreds of thousands of ounces based on 1,000 ounce. So that's the game. And so with that in mind, I'd like to talk about something called fiduciary duty. And this is more for, if there's anyone out there watching this who's a professional investor or a fund manager or a hedge fund manager or a bank private bank manager who uses this LME or plans to use this LME, all I can tell you is that be careful, of your fiduciary duties, which means basically is the highest standard of care. It says, legally it means the person who has a fiduciary duty is called the fiduciary, and the person to whom he owes the duty is typically referred as the principal or the beneficiary. If an individual breaches the fiduciary duties, he or she would need to account for the ill-gotten profit. His or her beneficiaries are entitled to damages, and even if they suffered no harm. This is from Cornell University Law School Legal Information Institute website. And what I'm trying to say is that if you, as a fund manager, plan to buy physical gold or silver for your clients or, your beneficiaries, you need to make sure that you buy physical gold. So by using the LBMA, unallocated, and the LME and COMEX, you're breaching that fiduciary duty. In my opinion, like Jim Rickards said the other day in the video, even the bank vaults are closing for physical metals, and they're becoming private vaults in Switzerland. They've gone away from being bank vaults for physical gold and silver to becoming private bank vaults. So if there's anyone out there who has fiduciary power and has to act in a highly fiduciary manner to beneficiaries, they must think before, very carefully that they're actually buying physical gold. And all I can say is that by dealing in the LME and LBMA in London through the bullion banks is not very, you wouldn't be acting in a fiduciary manner. If you really want to buy physical gold for your clients, you need to buy real gold, touch it, and store it in a private vault if it's a huge amount, and make sure that the gold bars have their serial numbers and that your client has legal title to that physical gold, not some unallocated, account, because that's the whole point of gold, is that you're cutting out the counterparty risk. So basically my advice to all those who act as fiduciaries, don't trade or, don't buy precious metals through the London bullion banks or the LME new contract that will start next year. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to donate to my channel, there's a few links below in the description. You can donate in PayPal. On PayPal, you can donate Bitcoin or through Patreon. Thanks for watching. Bye.